Welcome to Fraser 365. I'm Chris Montgomery, and today we're taking a look at the minor prophets of the Old Testament and asking God to speak to us through His Word. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome to day 26 of the Minor Prophets. We are continuing our study of Micah, and today's devotion is titled, The Power of Prophecy. Peter Stoner wrote, "Take 100 million silver dollars and lay them on the face of Texas. They will cover it 2 feet deep. Now, mark one of these silver dollars with an X and stir the whole mass thoroughly. Blindfold a man and tell him he must pick up the one silver dollar with the X on it. What chance would he have of getting the right one? Just the same chance that the prophets would have of writing 8 prophecies and having them come true in any one man." Our text for today is from the book of Micah, chapter 5, verses 1 through 15. "Now, muster your troops, O daughter of troops. Siege is laid against us. With a rod they strike the judge of Israel on the cheek. But you, O Bethlehem Ephrathah, who are too little to be among the clans of Judah, from you shall come forth for me one who is to be ruler in Israel, whose coming forth is from of old, from ancient days. Therefore, he shall give them up until the time when she who is in labor has given birth. Then the rest of his brothers shall return to the people of Israel, and he shall stand and shepherd his flock in the strength of the Lord, in the majesty of the name of the Lord his God. And they shall dwell secure, for now he shall be great to the ends of the earth, and he shall be their peace. When the Assyrian comes into our land and treads in our palaces, then we will raise against him 7 shepherds and 8 princes of men. They shall shepherd the land of Assyria with the sword, and the land of Nimrod at its entrances. And he shall deliver us from the Assyrian when he comes into our land and treads within our border. Then the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many peoples like dew from the Lord, like showers on the grass, which delay not for a man, nor wait for the children of man. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the nations, in the midst of many peoples, like a lion among the beasts of the forest, like a young lion among the flocks of sheep, which, when it goes through, treads down and tears in pieces, and there is none to deliver. Your hand shall be lifted up over your adversaries, and all your enemies shall be cut off. And in that day, declares the Lord, I will cut off your horses from among you, and will destroy your chariots. And I will cut off the cities of your land, and throw down all your strongholds. And I will cut off sorceries from your hand, and you shall have no more tellers of fortunes. And I will cut off your carved images, and your pillars from among you. And you shall bow down no more to the work of your hands. And I will root out your Asherah images from among you, and destroy your cities. And in anger and wrath I will execute vengeance on the nations that did not obey." The 5th chapter of Micah can be divided into 2 major sections: the ruler from Bethlehem, verses 1 through 6, and victory for the remnant in verses 7 through 15. The first section, which contains the incredible prophecy of the birth of the Messiah, that's from Micah chapter 5, verse 2, will be our focus for today. Commentary writers Eric Gredman, William Curtis, and Ken Fentress share this insight into the first half of Micah 5. In this chapter, we find a beautiful picture of the rise of the promised Messiah King. It is an expansion of Micah chapter 4, verse 7, which reads, "Then the Lord will rule over them in Mount Zion from this time on and forever." The promised King of Israel will be God Himself. In this chapter, Micah revealed additional truths about Israel's future king. This passage contains one of the most famous verses in the entire Old Testament, indeed in the whole Bible. It is a verse we often read during our Christmas celebrations. It's important because Micah was bringing clarity to the identity of the coming king who had been promised to Israel. This is significant because the Old Testament identifies several criteria that the future Messiah must meet. One of them states that he must be a descendant of King David. In the Davidic covenant, God promised David that he would have an heir to sit on his throne forever. David was from Bethlehem, and Micah revealed that his future heir, the promised eternal king, would be born there as well. Micah describes Bethlehem as being small among the clans of Judah. In other words, it's an insignificant community. When they named the major cities of Israel in the Old Testament, Bethlehem didn't make the list. Yet out of this insignificant place would come the most significant person ever born on earth, the Messiah of Israel. He will be the one who comes on behalf of God to be the ruler over Israel. He won't be just any ruler, however, because his origin is from of old, from ancient days. When we get to verses 4 and 5, we see this beautiful picture of the way Messiah will rule over a united Israel. He will stand and shepherd them in the strength of Yahweh, in the majestic name of Yahweh his God. They will live securely, for then his greatness will extend to the ends of the earth. He will be their peace. This is an amazing promise, which continues the teaching we observed in chapter 4, verses 6 through 8, and verse 13. But when we read these verses in chapter 5, we understand that this prophecy has yet to be fulfilled. It still looms before us in the future, waiting on the second coming of King Jesus. Because we have the benefit of New Testament revelation and historical hindsight, we understand that hidden within the mystery of God's redemptive plan for the world is a plan to send the Messiah in two distinct advents. The Messiah would come the first time to be the Savior of the world, and the second time to be the King of the world. The prophet Micah may have been unaware of this truth when he wrote his book. This was an issue that many prophets wrestled with as they revealed God's prophecies. Remember, according to Paul, the advent of Messiah as Savior was hidden from the prophets. That's from Ephesians chapter 3, verses 1 through 13. As a result, when the prophets saw glimpses of the coming Messiah, they may have anticipated he would establish his kingdom at his first appearing. So God spoke through his prophets in ways they didn't even understand. God is an awesome God who reveals himself in mysterious ways. Sometimes, seeing the full scope of his marvelous words takes some time. Some questions to consider. How does prophecy, in and of itself, strengthen your faith in Jesus? In what ways are we prone to missing all of what the prophets foretold if we don't study the whole counsel of God? And finally, how does Isaiah chapter 55, verses 8 and 9 relate to the depth of Micah's prophecy in Micah chapter 5, verse 2? From Isaiah 55, verses 8 and 9, and I'll be reading from the ESV translation. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.